What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be reviewing episode 1 and 2 of Ahsoka, the newest Disney Plus Star Wars show based off of Ahsoka Tano. Now, before we get started today, if you want to talk about anything movies, TVs, or video game related and have no one else to talk to about, consider subscribing down below, leaving your comments about what you think about Ahsoka or any other movies I have reviewed thus far. Now, let's get into the review. So Ahsoka just released today. I just finished watching both episodes tonight, so by the time you see this recording, it will be tomorrow morning, but it released today on the 23rd of August. I had some pretty big hopes for this show. I was hoping that it was going to have that same kind of raw feel like the Mandalorian did in season 1 and 2, which it gave me some traditional Star Wars vibes. I've been waiting to talk about something Star Wars related on this channel, and Ahsoka is finally giving me my chance. However, it's not everything that I wanted it to be. It does a pretty good job overall about setting the stage of introducing Ahsoka, which we have already seen, of course, in previous Star Wars adaptations. First being, of course, Star Wars The Clone Wars, the animated series, as well as Star Wars Rebel and The Mandalorian. Now, obviously in this show, she's a little bit older, a lot more mature. She is no longer a Padawan. She is technically a Jedi Knight. So with her being a little bit more mature, she does try to be a little bit more wise in the way she talks, her demeanor, and it doesn't always feel genuine to me, which is a little strange. They still do a good job of portraying Ahsoka here. The actress does a pretty wonderful job as well. I liked her a lot in The Mandalorian. I thought she did a really good job there as well. So her having her own TV show or show for Disney Plus was kind of a no-brainer, really. But again, a lot of the dialogue, and which is weird because I believe, in my opinion, the way I was watching the show, there wasn't as much dialogue. It was a lot of quiet scenes, people just making facial expressions at each other, and it didn't really, give me too much impact. And the lines that she was giving, Ahsoka, didn't always give me too much impact because it just didn't seem genuine at certain points. The pacing was pretty slow as well of the first episode for the most part, which is very understandable, especially with a pilot episode. It's not always going to kick off at 1,000 miles per hour, but sometimes it does, like The Mandalorian, which kind of got me hooked right away. This is still kind of teeter-tottering on the fence of whether or not I like this and if I want to continue watching the show, which of course I'm going to make more reviews for you guys. But onto the kind of the story and the pros and cons for me on this show. One pro, I would say, visually, it's a really nice show here. There's a lot of awesome planets, buildings, scenes. The lightsaber play can be good at times. The practical effects in terms of costume design is always pretty good with Star Wars. So I think overall those are some of the pretty good pros for me. Ahsoka obviously here is trying to, basically the plot is there's this character named Morgan, which is a kind of a witch sister of Dathomir, and she's trying to get this kind of star map to try to find this old kind of, I believe it's a Sith, if I remember correctly, that was rumored to be dead, but is now kind of resurfacing up again. And as well, they originally introduced in the first episode, right at the beginning of the scenes, these two Siths, which is pretty interesting. It's not Siths that we've seen before in the past, at least from what I have seen. I haven't seen every Star Wars show, but I've seen every single movie, and I haven't seen these characters in any other shows or adaptations before. So these are new Siths that we are being introduced to. And I thought the opening scene of the first episode felt really good. It gave me Mandalorian vibes, gave me New Hope vibes. It was really good, and then it slowed down on the pace up again. So let's go over a little bit of the cons for me, because the cons, there's a lot more cons than there are pros for me. One, pacing was a little slow, like I said before. The lightsaber play and especially in the first episode, Ahsoka's first battle with the lightsaber felt very clunky. The choreography wasn't all there. It just didn't feel smooth. There wasn't a flow to the battle. It definitely just seemed really stiff, very stiff movements. But in the second episode, they kind of fix that a little bit. It's the battle that she gets into with this third Sith that I believe is a Sith is actually pretty epic, and I like that battle and that entire kind of scene, and with the ship following another ship while Ahsoka's on the ground fighting this third Sith. That scene of a known kind of saved the second episode for me. But I do think the second episode was definitely overall a lot better than the first episode. I don't want to get into too much plot here, just especially because the episodes just came out today, so I want to give you guys a chance to take a look at it and see for yourself. But again, this doesn't really give me the same Mandalorian vibes that I was hoping for it to give me. It didn't hook me right away. Another cool thing that they kind of introduce here is some cast from Star Wars Rebel, a different animated series. I've never seen that animated series like I have the Clone Wars, but I am familiar a little bit about that show and some of the characters that are involved here in play. So one of the characters, Ezra, I'm not too sure what happens with him in the animated show, but they are in search for him now that they got this new star map. And some of the other characters are already there with Ahsoka, and Ahsoka kind of regains a companion that she had previously in the Rebels show. But overall, I think the show so far is okay. It's doing its job, and I hope it picks up the pace in the next few episodes so that it hooks me a lot more like The Mandalorian did in, like I said, season 1 and 2. But I'm a big, huge Star Wars fan, so I hope it kind of gives me that Star Wars that I've been missing, because with Disney kind of taking over Star Wars, it's been falling into that kind of Marvel trend where they're just throwing shows out there, throwing movies out there just to get people to watch and stream on Disney Plus. So it doesn't always feel like they are making these Star Wars or Marvel shows and movies to actually entertain us. It's kind of more of a money hungry type of thing, which I hope that feeling when you watch these shows goes away, because I desperately need some good Star Wars in my life again. So this was just a little quick one. I just finished these 2 episodes. It's not like my traditional movie reviews. I hope I get better at these TV show reviews, because it's difficult to watch these episodes and kind of pick apart things where I don't want to spoil too many things for you guys before you watch it. But let me know what you guys thought about Ahsoka down below if you have seen it already. I would love to hear your guys' opinions. Let me know you guys what you want me to review next. I have, of course, these 2 shelves on the side. I have a lot of movies here that I haven't seen. I just have them here because I thought they were interesting when I first saw them. So I would love to watch some of these and review them for you in the future. So again, thank you guys for watching. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and I hope to see you guys on the next review. Thank you.